We've been getting updates from the leadership of some of the companies out there. You've shared with us in the past some very interesting thoughts about Elon Musk and the way that he operates Tesla. On the earnings call that we heard from them, he did weigh in on the way that these lockdowns that have, imposed problems for small and large businesses might be not the right way to go. I want to play a little clip of what he said on the Tesla earnings call yesterday, calling some of these measures fascist. I'm going to play that and get your take on the other side. Here's what he had to say.
The extension of the shelter-in-place, or frankly, I would call it forcibly imprisoning people in their homes against all their constitutional rights, that's my opinion, and breaking people's freedoms in ways that are horrible and wrong, and not why people came to America or built this country.
Yeah, so you called it, a violation of constitutional rights to keep people at home. Of course, we know the health reasons for why this is being done, but he does raise issue with the way that if people want to leave their home, they shouldn't be arrested for it and everything like that. Of course, he also runs Tesla. He's running a business here, and he's called his workers back into the factories in California. But what's your take on his take on all this, and maybe that the government might be going too far here?
Well, I think to ignore the health aspect of this is just downright crazy. But to his credit, he has a right to rant. He's had a profitable first quarter, right? And his stock went up by, I think, 9% right on the heels of that rant. And it's what we expect of him to speak his mind. I also think what wasn't mentioned and might have added a little salt to that wound is in the state of California, where his factory is, they loosened up the restrictions on many businesses. One of them that was totally released was the construction industry. And I gotta believe he looks at guys building a building neck and neck, hammering nails side by side, and compares that to his factory workers hammering nails and putting the cars together, and wonders to himself, is this fair? I mean, why can't my factory open, but that construction project could go forward? So I get where he would be a little bit annoyed. Whether or not it's against American rights, I think the first American right we all have is to protect our citizens. And I think that's sorely lacking in his assessment of it. Can he really protect people from getting ill? If he can and he can prove it, why not? But I don't think he mentioned that very essential piece.
No, I mean, that is kind of the key question mark here, too. And it's not just, you talk about factory lines. It's not just for automakers, but it's also for the food supply that we've seen in this country as well. A lot of concerns about that, because you look at Tyson and Smithfield, some of the largest producers of meat in this country. And right now you have the president saying we're going to have, the DPA, invoke the DPA and make sure that we can keep those factories open because it's important. But there are a lot of questions about how you keep these workers safe. And I guess until you answer those, in your mind as a business owner, that becomes question number one before you can actually think about opening back up.
Zach, there was a great ray of hope in LA, because the mayor now has enough tests in LA to test all of the citizens there as frequently as they want to be tested. I don't know really how that happens. I want to read up on it. But if that could happen, I mean, if a factory owner like Elon Musk could have everybody tested before he lets them back into the factory, I mean, everybody would be comfortable. Everybody would be on his side going in there. But I'm just wondering myself, why LA suddenly has tests for every citizen to take multiple tests, and why the rest of the country can't seem to finesse making that happen.
That's a very good question. And it's one that I think a lot of people are asking themselves out there as we continue to track the way that states reopen here.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.